So I wanted to sit and talk about my addiction and really the biggest catalyst of change for me, what really allowed me to get to the other end of this, to a place where I'm not drinking every day, where I'm not hungover every morning and needing a little something to get me through, to make me feel all right. And it was changing my people, places, and things. And I remember, first off, all of my people in my life at the time when that was the advice being given were adamantly fighting against that. Even I remember someone telling me about, oh, I had been told that. And when I tried to implement that, I just felt like I was cut off from everybody. I was lost. And when I tried to implement it a little bit at the time, I felt the same way. I felt like I had nobody all of a sudden. I was an addict who was truly alone. I didn't even have my addicted friends. And that felt horrible. And I thought, oh, surely this is wrong. This isn't a needed change. This is something that'll nuke my progress. But it's just reinforcing the behavior. It's lies. Changing your people, places, and things does a number of things. And for me, the first thing I noticed was it broke the cycle of temptation. See, when you have all of these old people, places, and things that are so closely tied to drinking, that was what it was for me. Returning to those environments or just hanging out with those same people, it still would get me to engage in addictive behaviors, even when I go into those situations intentionally saying I wouldn't. And a good example would be I go to the bar, I'm just going to get water. I want to be around all my friends. I don't want to lose this community, but I always would end up drinking. Or if it wasn't drinking that night, it was watching everyone having a great time and needing to drink tomorrow so that I could be a part of that great time. And it was nuking my ability to recover. And changing my people, places, and things allowed me to create a healthy support system. And specifically, it really allowed me to get away from one that was very negative, that wasn't supporting me. And the people you surround yourself with, they just have a significant influence on your recovery. And if someone you're with is maybe doing something that triggers you to go back to your addiction, it's not that they're a bad person. And it's not that they should even have to change because they're being themselves. But if you change your people, places, and things and you don't see that every day, it is going to make a difference on your mindset. And if you continue to associate with those who drink or partake in the behaviors that you don't want to, you're going to join them like you always have. And again, that goes with avoiding the environmental triggers. When I changed my people, places, and things, not only was I not around people who were drinking, but I was no longer near the bars that I was always drinking at. I was not super close to the bar stool. A walk downtown no longer takes me down memory lane, down every blackout I've had on a Broadway street in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That I had to get away from that. All of that, the bars, the parties, the drug hangouts even, they just trigger different cravings, memories associated with my addiction and the reasons why I was drinking. When I changed these, it just allowed me to distance myself from all of that. Out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. And that's why it's important to create a safe physical space where you can focus on your recovery without all those distractions or temptations. And in this, you can learn to build new positive habits that take the time that your addiction used to take. For me, it's been reading books, coming to YouTube, and recording content that I hope will help people. And just anything that gets me away from what used to be time spent on the bottle. Those old routines that involve using the substances just have to be replaced with new, healthier habits. If you keep going back to the same places or maintaining those same relationships, you're just going to fall back into the same old behaviors. Introducing new activities, places, and people into your life fosters the development of positive habits, which are essential for long-term recovery. See, you build your self-worth and confidence when you change your people, places, and things. Addiction often leads us to feel isolated or like we're less than. But when you change your environment and your social circle, you just break free from negative influences. And you get away from things that reinforce feelings of shame or unworthiness because you're not taking part in behaviors that are truly that. You see people doing the things that used to make you so happy, and it gives you all this emotional baggage, even though that thing, drinking, is going to break you and destroy you and make you the most miserable sap you've ever been. And for me, it let me create a fresh start. See, when I changed my people, places, and things, when I got away from the past and was able to live in the present, all of these negative memories, guilt, and shame, they were gone, or I could work through them. They weren't these overpowering thoughts that had no reason. I finally felt like I could be again, that my addiction didn't define me, that everyone who saw me didn't know that I was an addict. And even the people that do, now they get to know that I'm not, and they get to see me in the best version of me I could be. And that all came through changing my people, places, and things, even though at first it seemed like the worst decision I may ever make. You got to change your people, places, and things.